Hello, and welcome to Let's Make a Top-Down Shooter. This video is about swapping to another weapon when you walk over it, which changes what weapon type is being used. However, first of all, I'm going to start by fixing an oversight from the Destructible Actors video. In that video, we're setting the max health using the init health set gameplay effect. And because all of the values were set by caller, but we did not set max shield, shield regen, or shield regen delay, you will get these errors. So to fix that, throw that way over there. Just duplicate this. Set these values to 0. Shield regen and shield regen delay. And then move this back because I moved it way too far. Again, make sure the spec handle is set properly. So to enable seeing weapons while they're on the ground, first we're going to add a skeletal mesh component. We're using skeletal instead of static because for weapons, not in this video, but in general, weapons are an animated mesh, and skeletal, I believe, is required for that. So to do that, we're just adding the variable, and in the constructor, we're creating it and setting it as the root component. Similarly, I'm going to be changing the equip functionality in the character class. So I'm making a new U function, and I forgot, this should be blueprint callable. Otherwise, it will not be. And when we were equipping the weapon previously, up here we're creating the default weapon and equipping it. This is now going to look like we're going to create the default weapon. We're going to call EquipWeapon with that default weapon. And what this function will do is for first check to make sure that the value that is set is valid. If we have a weapon currently equipped, we want to swap locations with that weapon. So we're going to set that weapon to the location of the new weapon. We will detach it from our character, and we'll call UnEquip. And then we'll set weapon to the new weapon, and then make sure the owner is set. Set the location to the actor location. Make sure it's snapped to target, and attach it to the mesh, and then equip it. So with that, I'll compile. And in our weapon base class, I first want to add a sphere collision. I'm just going to set the skeletal mesh for now to a temporary value, which is skeletal cube. In the viewport, you can see the cube and the sphere. For the sphere, the collision is set to overlap all dynamic, which is what we want, which means when it's overlapped, it will call, or this function will be called. So in here, we want to cast to VP third-person character. If that's valid, we will be calling EquipWeapon and sending along reference to self. I also want to change the third-person characters default weapon back to the pea shooter. Going to drag out the assault rifle into the world, throw it up to about 50. And since the owner is now being set when the weapon is equipped, this is no longer going to be valid up here for weapons that spawn in the level. So I'm going to pop this down to the equip. Move that around in a little bit. So right now I reloaded and I have the pea shooter on. Just clicking every time to shoot. Run through this, swaps places. I'm now using the assault rifle and holding down. Go back to this. Have to click. Lastly, I'm also going to go in here and pretty this up a little bit. Throw that way down there. Actually, I'm going to make those equip messages a little more official by doing an append. I'm going to get reference to self again. So I can get the name, display name. Do the same down here. And then lastly, I'm going to add another pin here. Going to throw in another make outgoing spec. This will be for ammo update. That was made in the previous video. So the purpose here is that when you equip a weapon, it's going to load that weapon, make sure that it has the up to the full max loaded ammo that it can have. So to do that, we need the get gameplay attribute value. We're going to get the max loaded ammo. Sometimes Control D just does not work for me. Also going to get the carried ammo. I want the minimum of those two values. And that will be set to the ammo loaded. So if we have 80 carried ammo and the max loaded ammo is 10. The minimum will be 10. It'll then, over here, we'll subtract the 10 from the carried ammo and set that to carried ammo. If the carried ammo is a smaller value than max loaded, like 5, and this is 10, then this will end up being 5, and that's how much we'll subtract. So then from here, we're going to then also subtract this value. Copy this again. This will be for carried, set by caller. And lastly, we need to also apply gameplay effect. It's all connected. I hit compile, I go in here, I run, open up the show debug. Oh, I left clicked. You can see that loaded ammo is now was set to the max loaded ammo and subtracted from carried ammo. Similarly, when we unequip the weapon, we will want to effectively do the opposite. I'm going to copy all this, throw it down here. Same thing, it will be the ammo update gameplay effect. In this case, we will be adding the loaded ammo and the carried ammo. So if your weapon currently has 4, you carry it as 20, then the addition of the 2 will be set to carried ammo. Did that a little backwards. Over here, we want to first set loaded ammo to 0. So we're emptying the equipped weapon as we unequip it and adding that value to the carried ammo. Make sure the spec is set properly for each step. One last thing I forgot to change. For the pea shooter, I want to set the max loaded ammo to 8. Actually, while I'm at it, go ahead and just increase the damage when I spell damage correctly to 10. So right now the pea shooter is equipped, 10 damage, loaded 8 ammo, taken from carried ammo. When I shoot, does 10 damage, 2 shots. Walk into that. Once, not twice. The damage goes back to 4 for the assault rifle. It was 24, so 24 plus 74 was 98, and that was because of the 2 shots that I did with the pea shooter. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and would like to see more, you know what to do. And if you would like to support this channel or just want to download the project files, you can do so through my Patreon linked below.